Marcus Aurelius was born on April 26, 121 CE, in Rome, during the height of the Roman Empire. He belonged to an aristocratic and politically influential family. His father, Marcus Annius Verus, died when Marcus was young, leaving him in the care of his grandfather and relatives. His mother, Domitia Lucilla, came from a wealthy family with estates in central Italy. From birth, Marcus was surrounded by privilege, education, and expectations of public service. Early exposure to politics, culture, and philosophy shaped his mind, giving him both access to elite circles and insight into the responsibilities and pressures of imperial life. Despite his aristocratic upbringing, he was recognized for his reflective temperament, a sense of duty, and an early inclination toward moral and philosophical inquiry. Marcus's education was rigorous and guided by the finest tutors of the time. He studied Greek and Latin literature, rhetoric, law, and philosophy, and he was introduced to Stoic thought through the works of Epictetus and other Stoic teachers. Stoicism, emphasizing rationality, virtue, and the control of destructive emotions, profoundly influenced Marcus's worldview. He internalized its precepts not merely as intellectual exercises, but as practical tools for governing himself and enduring life's challenges. In these formative years, Marcus developed a reputation for humility, diligence, and moral seriousness unusual for someone of his social standing. His teachers recognized his capacity for reflection and self-discipline, qualities that would later define his reign as emperor. Marcus's rise to power was marked by careful grooming and adoption into the imperial family. He was adopted by Antoninus Pius, the reigning emperor, at the behest of Emperor Hadrian, who sought a stable succession. This adoption positioned Marcus as heir and allowed him to enter public life with authority and responsibility. As a young man, he undertook administrative duties, military service, and legal responsibilities, preparing for the burdens of leadership. He observed Antoninus Pius's governance, learning the importance of justice, restraint, and measured judgment, while also confronting the complexities of imperial politics, diplomacy, and the expectations placed upon a ruler. Marcus Aurelius became emperor in 161 CE, co-ruling initially with Lucius Verus. His reign was immediately challenged by external and internal crises. The empire faced invasions along the Danube frontier, conflicts with Parthia in the east, outbreaks of plague, economic instability, and political intrigue within the Senate. These pressures demanded constant attention, careful strategy, and personal sacrifice. Throughout these challenges, Marcus maintained his Stoic discipline, striving to govern with reason, virtue, and a sense of duty, even while confronted with the limits of human control and the unpredictability of fortune. He balanced military command with administrative oversight, always emphasizing the moral responsibilities of leadership over personal gain or comfort. Despite his power, Marcus experienced profound inner turmoil. The demands of ruling an empire, witnessing suffering and injustice, and the personal losses he endured, including the deaths of many of his children, tested his capacity for patience, resilience, and detachment. To manage these pressures, Marcus turned inward, recording reflections that would later be compiled as the Meditations. Written during military campaigns and periods of solitude, these writings reveal his ongoing struggle to reconcile Stoic ideals with the realities of power, mortality, and human imperfection. The Meditations are not philosophical treatises in the formal sense, but intensely personal reflections, illustrating the tension between duty, desire, and the pursuit of virtue under extraordinary circumstances. Marcus's philosophy was inseparable from his approach to governance. He emphasized justice, rationality, and the common good, understanding that authority entailed moral responsibility. He sought to model the Stoic ideal of leadership, acting with integrity, restraining passions, and confronting difficulties with equanimity. His writings repeatedly stressed the importance of perspective, the transient nature of wealth, power, and life itself, and the need to align human action with reason and nature. Marcus recognized that external circumstances, plague, war, rebellion, could not be controlled, but one could control one's judgments, choices, and adherence to virtue, a principle he practiced throughout his reign. Military campaigns occupied much of Marcus's rule. He personally commanded armies along the northern frontiers, facing Germanic tribes and other threats to imperial stability. These campaigns were long, grueling, and perilous, demanding endurance, strategic skill, and resilience. Marcus balanced these responsibilities with philosophical reflection, writing meditations while encamped, and maintaining a moral standard for himself and his soldiers. Even amidst the hardships of war, he sought to act with justice, discipline, and restraint, avoiding cruelty, corruption, or caprice, and emphasizing the ethical obligations of power. His life as emperor thus combined the practical necessities of governance with the moral challenges of Stoic self-examination. Marcus also contended with the burdens of succession and family responsibility. His personal life was marked by devotion to his children, though many died young, a source of deep sorrow. His marriage to Faustina the Younger produced numerous offspring, but he was forced to confront grief, loss, and the limits of parental control. These experiences intensified his Stoic reflections on mortality, human fragility, and the impermanence of worldly attachments. They reinforced the Stoic practice of anticipating misfortune, accepting what cannot be changed, and focusing on virtuous action within one sphere of influence. Marcus's personal and political lives were thus interwoven, each informing the other in the cultivation of self-discipline, resilience, and moral integrity. Throughout his life, Marcus Aurelius was regarded for his moderation, humility, and ethical commitment. He avoided excessive luxury, practiced simplicity, and valued virtue above reputation or acclaim. He corresponded with advisors and philosophers, continually seeking counsel while exercising his judgment in matters of state. Even as emperor, he emphasized that moral character and rational judgment were the true measures of a person, not wealth, power, or fame. His reign reflected this principle, combining administrative efficiency, military prudence, and ethical concern for the well-being of citizens across the empire. Marcus's life exemplifies the Stoic ideal, engagement with the world guided by reason, virtue, and the acceptance of what is beyond one's control. Marcus Aurelius died on March 17, 180 CE, in the military camp at Vindobona, modern-day Vienna, during a campaign along the Danube frontier. His death marked the end of the Pax Romana, the period of relative stability and prosperity within the empire. Yet his legacy endured through the Meditations, which remain a seminal work of philosophy, offering insight into the mind of a ruler striving to live ethically amid immense responsibility. Marcus Aurelius demonstrated that leadership, power, and privilege do not preclude self-examination, moral discipline, or the pursuit of inner peace. His life reveals the enduring challenge of harmonizing duty and personal integrity, public service, and philosophical reflection. Marcus Aurelius is remembered not merely as a Roman emperor, but as a philosopher king who sought to live by reason and virtue while confronting the immense pressures of empire, mortality, and human suffering. He illustrates that inner turmoil can coexist with public responsibility, and that the cultivation of wisdom, temperance, and courage is possible even in the highest offices of power. His example continues to inspire those seeking to navigate life's difficulties with dignity, reflection, and moral clarity, offering a vision of leadership grounded in ethical principle and Stoic endurance rather than ambition, indulgence, or self-interest. Marcus Aurelius' life is thus both historical and philosophical, a testament to the enduring relevance of reason, virtue, and inner peace in a complex and unpredictable world.